Hey guys, it's Queen Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Okay, so one of the things that irks me is when people of other sun signs act like Aquarius is so difficult to figure out. Oh, they're so mysterious. Oh, you never know what they're going to do. It just drives me crazy. Because to me, I really feel like a lot of it is common sense. Seriously. Now, there are times when Aquarius do things and I'm like, dog, why did you do that? But most of the time, I think that if you just think about it, it's like it makes sense. But that's because I'm Aquarius. So I think like an Aquarian, I have a very Aquarian mind. So somebody who's thinking from a totally different standpoint may not think it's so self explanatory. So I have to be understanding about that. But one thing that I do think adds to the confusion is that Aquarius have a lot of contradictions, a lot of them. And I've identified 10 of them, and I think there are at least probably 20 more. And these are the ones that other sun signs always mention to me, and some of them make me laugh, and some of them, all of them, I am guilty of at some point in my life. Some I'm currently guilty of, some I've been guilty of. Some of you will recognize these in yourself. Those of you who are Aquarius or have Aquarius placements, you may notice some of these yourself, or you may have seen these in your Aquarius lovers or family members or friends. But I'm going to give you all 10 and explain them to you. And it's a doozy. Okay, the first one. The first one says Aquarius are water bearers, but they're air signs. Major contradiction. So people always say to me, Aquarius is a water sign, right? And I'm like, no, Aquarius is an air sign. And one of my friends was like, how the fuck do you bear water from the air? And it actually the air does. That's why it rains. But I didn't go there. I was just laughing as I got the point of what he was trying to say. So the thing is that you have to understand, and I'm going to explain this mythology more to you in another video. Water bearer is not exactly what we do. We're not actually bearing the water, like crying it out or something like that. What we're actually doing is gathering the water. If you look at the mythology, if you look at the pictures from Aquarius, we're gathering the waters into a jug usually or a cup. So we're not actually bearing this, we're gathering it. So we're going somewhere else to get it. It's not ours. Like the fish, the Pisces are the fish. They're in the water, you know. The crab even plays in and out the water, you know. Scorpions, I think can swim. I'm not sure, but they, you know, they have a different relationship with water. Aquarius, as you can see, is cupping the water, putting it into a jug. And that's very telling of our personality because water represents emotion. And what do we do with emotion? We compartmentalize it. We put it into a jug. We put it into a drawer. We put it away somewhere. And that's what Aquarius has always done. So we're good at wielding emotion, manipulating emotion, putting it into a jug and, you know, flipping it around and ignoring emotion. But we're not so good about being in the emotion and dealing with the emotion like the water signs are. So that's our first contradiction that a lot of people always look at me sideways about. And they think I'm lying until they look it up. But also remember, there's oxygen in water. So it also goes together as far as the elements are concerned. But people always think I'm lying about that one until they Google it. Water bearers, but don't do well with emotion. I was just talking about that part about how we compartmentalize the water. So you're a water bearer, but you're not good with emotion. So it's like, yeah, we're not good with dealing with the emotions. Some of the times we're not even good with expressing the emotions or holding the emotions back. But a lot of us can wield our emotions. A lot of us can manipulate our emotions. We can compartmentalize them. We can put them in a drawer and deal with them later and pretend like, you know, whatever happened didn't just happen. I always give myself the weekend to feel emotion. If I have to cry or do something like that, I'll make myself hold it to the weekend. So if somebody, passes away or something happens to somebody on a Tuesday, I will hold it in until Friday when I can lay down and cry and really get, let myself feel the emotions. And it's like people always ask me like, how do you hold it till Friday? And I'm like, I just do. Something happens, I put it into a drawer and I open the drawer on Friday. Now, luckily for me, I'm the kind of Aquarius who will go open the drawer on Friday. A lot of Aquarius will keep them in the drawer piles up. The next thing you know, 20 years later, they've had an emotional breakdown. That happened to me during the Voldemort situation, and that's why I stopped doing that. So now every Friday, I go to my drawer and see what emotions I've left in it. So Aquarius can do that. A lot of us can do that. So that is why we are, considered to be, wielding the emotions in our jug, but at the same time, nobody can say we're good with emotions. So we can manipulate them, but we don't really like them that much. The Aquarius is also futuristic but old-fashioned. And people always think that's odd. Like, how are you so far in the future with your thinking and your gadgets and your ideas, but at the same time, you have all these old-fashioned ways? Like, I don't believe in friends with benefits. I believe in dating the old-fashioned way. Courting someone, taking it slow, you know, um, you know, gradually getting engaged, getting married, and go through your little process, And people are like, you're an Aquarius and you think like that? And I'm like, yeah. I'm also very connected to my ancestors. So I'm very into things from Africa. I'm very into things, all the way back, all my ancestors, all the way back to Africa. I'm into history, things like that. I have a lot of old-fashioned thoughts, old-fashioned ideas. And then at the same time, I have a lot of futuristic thoughts and futuristic ideas going on simultaneously. So it's a big contradiction because most people who are futuristic are not old-fashioned. And if they're old-fashioned, they're not always that futuristic. But Aquarius can be both at the same time. Aquarius are deep thinkers, but don't always want to share their thoughts. People get upset with me about that. They're like, you think deeply, but you don't always share. And there's a reason for that. Aquarius are deep thinkers, and we do share. We just share when we want to and with whom we want to. People that we like, we share with all the time. And people that we don't like, we don't want to share with. Also, if they can't handle, some people can't handle the truth. You heard Jack Nicholson. And it's a very true statement. Some people cannot handle the truth. So sometimes when I'm quiet, it's because I know the person can't handle the truth that I'm holding on to. So I just sit there like, and I just hold on to it because I know if I let it go, they're not going to be able to handle it. So Aquarius are deep thinkers, and no, we don't always share those deep thoughts. Mind your business. It's not your business. Aquarius are affectionate but don't want commitments. A lot of Aquarius tell me they like to hug, they like to kiss, they like to cuddle, they like to hold hands. A lot of Aquarius tell me that they like that, but they don't really like commitments. So people get kind of confused because usually if you're doing those kind of affectionate kind of things, giving gifts, taking people places, usually when you're doing those kind of things, it's because you're aiming towards a relationship, you're aiming towards a future. But an Aquarius will treat you like that anyway. They don't have to see a future. We like to be affectionate. We like to go places. We like to do that kind of thing. So it doesn't mean that we want a commitment because we're cuddling with you. It doesn't mean that we want a commitment because we always want to hold hands. It just means that that's what we like. And a lot of people misread that sign because it's a contradiction. They misread that sign and then they're mad at us like, well, you led me on. And it's like, what? What are you talking about, So a lot of times that contradiction is critiqued by other sun signs. An Aquarius will leave you in a heartbeat, but will be hurt if you leave them. Now, if an Aquarius is not fooling with you, then this doesn't matter. But if we really like you or we're really feeling you and you leave us, it really does hurt us, truly. If a person rejects us, if we reach out to them, even though we might have rejected them, it's plenty of times when Voldemort would reach out to me and I would just, ignore him, block him, whatever the case was. But if I had something to say to him, he better, he better respond if I had something to say to him. Now, mind you, that's changed now, but this was at the beginning of the situation. I would bang on him, I'd hang up on him, I did all kind of stuff, but he better not do that to me, or anybody else I dated for that matter, like how dare you, But Aquarius will do that. We'll hang up on you, we'll stop talking to you, we'll ghost you, we'll block you. But if you do that to us, our feelings are hurt. And it's like, really, really Aquarius, like, you can't have it both ways. Major contradiction. An Aquarius will sleep with others, but will snap if you do the same. I told y'all I cheated on all of the men that I was with. But if I caught them cheating or even suspected that they were cheating, I stopped talking to them. But I was cheating the whole time. I don't know where my logic is with that one. I just don't like that. You sleep with somebody else? I'm good. I don't like that. Now I don't believe in cheating, period. So if I was with somebody, I'd be with that somebody or I'd just be single. But when it comes to, the past, if I even thought my lover was sleeping with somebody else, I would leave them alone. I mean, if it was a case that I knew, like in a case when we were both, coming into the relationship, messing with somebody else, and we both knew that was one thing. But if I was seeing someone and they were telling me that they were monogamous with me and I caught them or thought that they were not being monogamous with me, I would not sleep with them anymore. I wouldn't even call them anymore. And people be like, what the feezy? Like, you cheated the whole time. How could you be upset with the other person? But I don't like that. I did not like it. That's how I was. And they didn't catch me. I caught them, like, no, none of that. But Aquarius are like that. They can sleep with somebody else. They can holler at somebody else. They can flirt with somebody else. But if you do it, they might get mad. They might get mad. They might cut you off or they might just get angry. Aquarius are humanitarians, but get annoyed with people easily. So if you're a humanitarian, you have to deal with people. You have to go do things for people. You have to be around people. But Aquarius get easily annoyed with people. So we would rather, build centers for people or sponsor or fund something or something like that rather than be working hands on at the soup kitchen, instead of me standing in line, handing out, cups of coffee. I would rather be the person that cut the check to buy the food. Or be the one that comes in and says a little something, maybe give, a poem I wrote about how I feel about the cause and then leave, I'm more of that kind of energy. And many Aquarius are like that. Many Aquarius are humanitarians in our work or in our efforts, but we don't always want to be around people. And even those of us who are good with crowds, like I can go to a big party like that or a big event like that and walk around and kiss babies and shake hands, but we're going to need time alone. So the Aquarius is always going to have to withdraw from people at some point in time. We might be around them, often, but we have to withdraw at certain times. Some people are not like that. Some people I know, they're around people all the time, like their kids, their mom. The place is always crowded with people. To me, that is like a hell. My version of hell is being surrounded by people and I can't get 5 minutes to myself. That's definitely hell for me. And for a lot of Aquarius, we feel like that we have to have some time to ourselves. So we're all into humanitarian efforts. All Aquarius I know that are really, moving forward and are happy and are positive, have some kind of cause. They got animal rights. They all got a cause. Every time you sit and talk to an Aquarius, even some of the dark ones and the gray ones, even some of them have a cause. It's like save the whales, mine are, gay issues, gay rights, women's rights, African American rights, human rights, just a whole bunch of different umbrellas under basically human rights. And a lot of us have some or several humanitarian thing that we're into and that we talk about and that we support in different ways. But ask us to be around people all the time and we're going to be like, nah. But we'll do anything to help. We'll do anything to help mankind. Aquarius are unpredictable, but are sometimes creatures of habit. This is very true. Sometimes we're so spontaneous and unpredictable, we just come out of nowhere and just do whatever we do. But at the same time, we can be very much creatures of habit. Papa Bear was talking to me the other day, and he pointed out that I say the same thing every time somebody says certain things to me. Every time somebody says to me an idea for a video, I say, great idea. Great question. Thanks. But it's worded exactly the same way every time. And he was laughing at me. And I was like, that's very true. In some ways, I am very much a creature of habit. But at the same time, I can be really spontaneous and really unpredictable. Major contradiction. So it's like, no, people don't know which one I'm going to do at what given time. And then out of nowhere, once you think you got the pattern, I'll switch it up. So now that he's mentioned that I say the same thing every time, I'm going to change what I say. Also, Aquarius are as tough as nails, but have the nerve to be sensitive. And I think that's like one of the oddest contradictions, because how are you sensitive, but then you're tough? I'll never forget, I was like 11 years old and I got into a fight with this girl and I was kicking her ass and crying at the same time. And my friends were like, why are you crying? You won the fight. And I was like, I didn't want to fight her. So the whole time I had to fight her because she attacked me, but I didn't want to. And so I cried through the whole fight, and that always happens. I'm not gonna say it always happens, but that happens very often when I get into a conflict with someone. If I'm right or wrong, oftentimes I cry. Oftentimes, I don't care how vicious I am in the fight or what goes on. It could be kill or be killed, but I'll be crying the whole damn time. So Aquarius are very sensitive in a lot of different ways, and a lot of people don't know that about us. They assume that outer masculine tough exterior is all there is, but there's a very soft spot in us, and when touched, it really is activated. So that's the 10 major contradictions about Aquarius. So tell me, do you know any other ones? Put them in the comment section. Pass this video on to anyone who needs to laugh at this. Give me a thumbs up, please. And if you would like to give a love donation, I will leave my PayPal. And if you would like to get a tarot or an oracle card reading, please feel free to email me for an appointment. If you would like to ask a free general question, email me or leave it underneath this video here. And I'm also on social media, and I will leave my social media. Thank you guys for watching my video. See you later.